forward. If people hop on, people hop on. But I want to go over finishing September strong and starting the year off strong. Or maybe I meant ending the year off strong. I don't know what I meant. With form. So we're going to kind of go over a lot of things tonight. So the first thing that I want to mention is that we have 1 week left in September. Even if you have 0 Success Club points, you can still hit Success Club this month. Because when you hit Success Club this month, you're going to get P90X and P90X2. That's like a huge deal. Huge deal. And if you've never done P90X2, I don't like P90X. I just never have. I just don't like it. But
don't you get the Power 90 thing too or something? The new P90 or something?
I think it's just P90 and X and P90X2, I think. I'll have to double check though, now that you've got me questioning that. I'll check it afterwards. But P90, I know you get P90X2 because I'm super excited about that one because I already have it and it's one of my favorite programs. But it is like probably, well, Hammer and Chisel's coming out in December. But other than that, I think it's probably one of the absolute hardest programs that we have. But it can get you totally jacked. Like you can do some crazy stuff with P90X2. So how do you hit Success Club? Help 3 people with the challenge pack. Obviously, you know that by now. And these are the sales that we have going on this month, which you can look at there. But just because there's 7 days left does not mean that it's the time to slow down and say, oh, I didn't hit it, or I only have 2 points, or people keep saying no. It is time to go. It's go time. There's 1 week left. You still have 1 week left. There are some people whose goal for this week is to achieve like 20 Success Club points. So if they can achieve 20 Success Club points, you can get at least 5. I know that you can. You just have to go for it. So I have some tips in here for going for it. These are my top tips for achieving Success Club at the very end of the month, because I will tell you, I am one of those who tends to hit it at the very end of the month. I'm not one of those who at the beginning of the month has 10 Success Club points by the first 4 days. Very rarely can I do that. I tend to procrastinate and hit it at the end of the month. So tip number 1, post about it. Post testimonials of support group participants. Post your own testimonials or the Beachbody Challenge winner post that we have in Team Beachbody. Post about all of those things. Post it at different times on different social media accounts. That is super helpful. That's what a lot of people do. Number 2, though, is to follow up with anybody who has mentioned previously that they have been interested in a support group of any kind, whether it be free healthy eating group, or, a former challenge group that they just couldn't order, it wasn't the right time. Go through your old list. Go through the entire thing. Make sure that you talk to all of them. Make sure that they know that we have a support group coming up on Monday. Now, I know that sounds crazy, and you're like, it's going to start on Monday. If they don't get their pack by Monday, it's okay. It's totally okay. Just tell them that they're going to be in the group, they're going to see the tips, and you will help them through. And whenever they get their package, know that they have you and that they have the group as well. Number 3, ask family and friends if they have anybody that they could refer to you for help to reach their goals. Just say, hey, Aunt Martha, I'm not sure if you know this, but I'm a Beachbody coach, and that basically just means that I help people with their fitness and health goals while I work on achieving my own. I was wondering if you knew of anybody who you think might need a little bit of help in achieving their goals, because I really want to make an impact. Is there anybody that comes to mind? Saying just that. If you have a family member who thinks that they might need some help, they'll say, you know what? I actually need some help. Would you be able to help me? And that really opens up a really great space. So make sure that you're asking friends and family. I know it sounds weird, but when you ask it in the referral way and you ask if they know of anybody, that can really like break the ice, and they can say, oh, maybe I have a couple friends that you could talk to. And it just opens up your network even more. So tip number 4, offer an incentive. And I will say that this can sometimes really help, even with people that you've already been talking to, especially in a private message. This way can help a lot. If you're talking to somebody and you think they're on the verge, just say, hey, you know what? If you sign up by Friday, I'm doing $10 cash back for anybody who signs up by Friday. If you're like already talking into a message with them, I like doing that more than posting the next however many people will get a special gift from me. Although that does work sometimes, I really do prefer people who are on the edge of committing, or people who have said, you know what, I can't do it until next month, saying, you know what, if you can order by Friday, I'm going to give you $10 cash back, or I'm going to send anybody who signs up by Friday their choice of $10 cash back or the 21-day fixed containers. I did that right there for Insanity Max 30 when it first came out. I offered people they could get $10 cash back or the 21-day fixed containers, and people were like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to try those containers. I want to try that. And I just had the containers directly sent to them, and it was no big deal. I think you can only purchase for other people, I think it's like $50 total a week is like the rules that Beachbody has. So you can only send out like 2 containers to people per week, because I think it comes to like $20 with a container. So just be aware of the rules. You can look it up in policies and procedures, but I'm pretty sure it's $50 per week. You can't spend more than $50 per week on incentives. You can also just do a simple $5 journal. I don't have any in here with me, of course. I have them everywhere, but they're not in here with me. But they're like these really pretty, like leather-bound journals that have like the little ribbon in them, and they're super nice. You can get them for like $5 at TJ Maxx or Marshalls, and they're a really great gift because they have inspirational sayings, and people can like keep track of their food or keep track of how they're feeling. Write down inspirational quotes, those kinds of things. Those are just a really nice, simple incentive. So incentives really work at the end of the month. I would definitely highly suggest those. And then stick to more power hours. Focus on those income producing hours, especially during the final week of this month. Like 80% of your time should be on income producing hours. So I will definitely want to make sure that you stick to those. So helping others using FORM. FORM is basically an acronym for family, occupation, recreation, and the message. And we basically just use this to help guide conversations so that we can make sure that we're building a solid relationship and a foundation for figuring out what people's needs are. Whether they're new friends or old friends, FORM works for everybody. So what does the F stand for? The F is for family. This is the area that a lot of people like to start with because most people like to share this part of their life. So do you live around my area? Do you have any kids? How old are they? Do you have a dog? Do you have goldfish? Like, what are you into? How long have you and your husband been together? Those kinds of questions. Let the conversation go where it wants to, though. Like, don't feel like you have to stick to all of these questions. And don't feel like you have to ask all of these questions. You don't have to ask all of these kinds of questions. Let the conversation go where it wants to. And the more that you have conversations, the more that you'll kind of feel where you want to take the conversation. So the goal through this whole process is to learn about the person that you're talking with and to find what their needs are. Occupation. This part can get interesting, and this part is probably one of the most useful parts of the entire FORM concept when it comes to trying to figure out what their needs are. Because especially if you're looking for coaches or people who you think might make great coaches, ask about what they have going on in their life. Ask them how they like their job, if it's a great opportunity, what challenges they have at their job, what they like most about their job, what they would change about their job. Because a lot of people don't like their hours. I will say about 95% of the people that I work with hate their hours. And some people just are ready for a change. You know, they've been in the same job for 12 years and they just don't like it. And they don't know what else to do because they have a master's degree in it and they don't know how to get out, or they feel like they've worked really hard for it and they don't want to get out. And that's okay. That's what this business can be, a really great opportunity for them to do something on the side, to get something that, you know, makes them feel alive and helping other people. It's a really great opportunity. And so if you find people that don't like their job, or they feel stuck, or they just aren't sure if what they're in is something that they want to be in for life, just ask them, have you ever considered doing what I'm doing and working from home? This occupation question is a really great one to do. I talk to a lot of stay-at-home moms who are like, oh, I miss talking to adults and things like that. And this opportunity gives them a really great thing to do. So the occupation question definitely helps if you're looking for people to add to your team, and seeing what they already do. So Recreation. Now, this is a part that also people like to talk about. Ask what they do for fun. Where do they like to go on vacation? What kind of hobbies do they have? Do they play any sports? Do they like to go to sporting events? Do they like to go to the opera? Do they like to go to hockey games? Things like that. Do they like to volunteer at church? Do they like to sing at church? What do they like to do for fun? Get creative, because people like to talk about themselves, and you can really find out their true passions through these recreation questions. You can see what they truly love and enjoy to do through the recreation questions. So the ad, once you've gone through a couple rounds of back and forth questioning, like usually after, I would say like 5 or 6, and we've got like a good conversation going, that's when I send them a friend request. Keep track of this in your Power of 3 document, because if they don't accept your friend request within a few days, retract that request, because you don't want them just lingering out there, because then Facebook can like put you in Facebook jail and you can't add people for like a month, and it's super annoying. But when you have like a conversation going back and forth with people, add them as a friend, because then you are constantly on their radar and you're in their news feed. And then they're going to start seeing what you do, and they're going to start asking you questions about what you do. So make sure after you do a few back and forths, and you feel like you have a good rapport going with them, add them as a friend on Facebook. So the last part of form is the message. And we basically have a huge advantage in the message section, specifically because of our Pumped Up Accountability Group. Our Pumped Up Accountability Group, I don't know if you know this, but we have one of the best, most engaged, most inspiring, most motivated support group, accountability groups that there possibly is. I am blown away at what we have in the Pumped Up Accountability Group. It's packed with motivation and inspiration for these people. So we have a really great tool with it. In the message, you can show that you truly care about them by helping them and offering up our free Pumped Up Accountability Group. It's completely free. Nobody in it has to pay anything. They don't have to buy anything. They don't have to do the Beachbody workouts if they don't want to. They just have to have a free Team Beachbody membership through you, so that if they ever buy anything from Beachbody, you get commission for it, but you also help them along the journey. So a sample question: hey, I've got a great group of friends on Facebook. They're chatting about general health and fitness. I'd love for you to join us. Do you think that's a group you'd like to be a part of? Simple as that. I'll set you up with a free Team Beachbody account so that we can get you tons of health and fitness support and tools on top of what we have in the group. Does that sound good? Simple questions like that. So that is kind of the message part of it. It really does base things on like the free groups. You've got the free healthy eating groups that you can run. But I think our Pumped Up Accountability Group, for being a free group, I think that it is amazing. I think that we do tons of support in there. And I feel like our members are getting a lot of great results. So forming is all about building that relationship. The message won't always lead to an invite. Sometimes the family, occupation, and recreation will just lead to a Facebook ad. Like I said, that gets you on their radar, and they can reach out to you when they have, the need. But hopefully during the form conversation, you'll discover their needs and pair them with a solution to fit those needs. Like I was talking to a girl today who is a stay-at-home mom, and I found her because I liked her fitness thing on Pinterest. And she said she doesn't get to do a lot of them because she works out. She lives in an apartment, and the people below her are always complaining if they make too much noise, so she can't do any of her normal workouts. And I said, and we were talking a little bit more, and I said, have you ever considered doing PiYo? It's no impact, so you wouldn't really be making a lot of noise. And she's 5 months postpartum, and I said it could really help you like tone and make sure that you've got that upper body strength that you need with a new baby. She said, I've never heard of it. And I sent her a video, and we've been talking a lot more. And so when you are in form, you don't always have to like follow it. Just see where the conversation leads. See what their needs are. This was a new mom who her only way to exercise, she's in Florida. It's like 103 degrees. Her only way to exercise is to walk her baby. And she can only do that later at night when her baby wants to go to bed. So she doesn't really have a solution to getting this in. So I wanted to give her a solution. She has about 50 pounds to lose. I know that PiYo is an amazing program with the eating plan and everything that it does. So I suggested PiYo, and we're going to continue to talk about that. So listen to their needs and make sure that you just use form as a guide. Are there any questions about form? No? Did that help? All right. So the last part, don't give up. You can achieve Success Club for September. So the last part about this is the calendars that I have for the end of the year. Now, I'm having surgery next week, so I wanted to make sure that I had kind of like the rest of the year all set up, even though, I mean, my surgery is only going to put me out for like a couple weeks. But I'm also starting a new job in November, and so I have to work full-time for a couple months, and that's going to be really hard because I haven't worked full-time in a really long time. So I'm going to show you how you can work full-time and still kick ass in this business, and I did that by starting to have everything planned through January. So I'm going to go through October, November, and December and show you what's a little bit different, because come holiday season, things always get a little bit like, when should I do any of this? And so I kind of went through that yesterday, and these are the results that I got. So you basically, October is our normal, like, first week, run your free healthy eating group. Second week, we have our Glimpse into Coaching group. Third week, we start the support group. And then in the middle of that week, we start our new coach training. That's like how our normal month typically goes. That's what October is. Then in November, we have same thing. First full week, we run your free healthy eating group. Then we have a 5-day Glimpse into Coaching group. And then we have our 30-day support group that starts the Monday before Thanksgiving. So that first week, we'll probably do a lot of stuff about Thanksgiving. And then, we'll basically end right before Christmas, I think. There is no Smart Start new coach training because of Thanksgiving in November. We're going to start at the very next week. I think it's like the 3rd of December is when we're going to start it. So no new coach training in November. So we've got October and then a new coach training in December. And then we don't start one again until January. So December, Hammer and Chisel is going to be released. I'm guessing like the 7th of December, because that's typically, I swear, the Insanity and P90X3. I'm pretty sure they both were released on like the 9th or 10th of December. So I'm thinking that week of the 7th is when they're going to release Hammer and Chisel. That's just my guess. That's what they've done the past 2 years. So we'll kind of see. But December 3rd, we're going to be doing our new coach training, 21 days. We're going to end again right before Christmas. And then the 7th through the 11th, run your free healthy eating group. We'll still do a 5-day Glimpse into Coaching group. However, we won't have a Smart Start until the like middle to end of January. So you'll work one-on-one with your coaches at that time through Christmas. And then we'll kind of start back up in January with another Smart Start. So 5-day Glimpse into Coaching group. And then the 21st, this is what I decided to do. And I did something like this with my own, because this was like before we started doing like the large team groups. And I did something like this last year, and it was really, really effective. So the 21st, we're going to do a 14-day holiday helper type challenge. So that anybody who gets their challenge packs in December before the 21st, they're going to get help through Christmas and New Year's. And then they're going to roll into our first challenge group of the year, which is going to start January 4th. Does that make sense? So they're going to get 6 weeks worth, basically, of support. They're going to get that extra, through Christmas and through New Year's. And then they also get to be in our first group of the year and really start off fresh. Basically, the holiday helper. Personally, I really don't like to focus on like weight loss. I really like to focus on like maintenance and making healthy choices during the holidays and those kinds of things. But I think that that'll be a really good tool that we have during that stretch of Christmas and New Year's. So that's going to be our focus there. And I don't have January stuff. I have it all listed out for you though. But does anybody have any questions about the calendars? Nope. Any questions about anything in general? Nope. All right, I will end this recording. I'm pretty sure that's all I have. Again, make sure that you hit Success Club. You can totally do it. There's no reason that you can't hit it. We have an entire 7 days. You can totally do it. So Make sure that you rock out this last week of September. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to put it into our group. I will end this recording and put it up in the team page by tomorrow. All right, I hope you guys have a great night. Bye.